I don't know if you guys seen this video that's gone viral, but watch the video if you haven't, and then let's discuss this. Yeah, just watch
The results are as follows.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the results, let me just welcome you all to another video covering the wall. I hope you're all doing fine, gentlemen, but now let's get straight to business.
In the case of Manser versus Sear, as it pertains to 20-year-old Dylan Sear, Mr. Manser, you are not his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison. Oh, my God. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I did
That is fraud.
Mr. Manser,
That is fraud.
I know you're upset. Do you want to find out who your father is?
Of course.
Miss Sear, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is?
Yes, I talk to him still.
Listen,
Get away from my son.
he apologized.
And under another breath, he's calling me a liar.
You cannot stand there and really suggest that you cannot comprehend why this man would not have any type of ill feeling, frustration, or regret as it relates to anything involving you.
So this guy has been 5 years in prison, and she knew all along that he was not the father because she shook up with some other guy. So while he was in prison, he was out there, I don't know, eating Cheetos on the sofa or something, without a care in the world. We have a literal psychopath right here, guys, sociopath or something. And also, can you imagine how terrible this is for the father? Because you've been loving this child for, what was he, 20 years old or something? Now you find out it's not yours. I mean, the love is not going to get away, of course, the moment you find out it's not yours, but damn, you thought he was your child, your kid, only to realize he's not. This is absolutely terrible.
5 years in prison. And then I say, do you know who your son's father is? And you say, yes, I'm still in touch with him. That is a really huge pill to swallow.
I remember being asked this on a podcast whether I would have a problem if my husband asked me for a paternity test. And initially I was like, of course I would. That is offensive for my husband to ask me for a paternity test. What? No, who do you think you married? But when I see videos like this, I feel like, you know what? I'm not going to say I wouldn't still be like, you know, because it depends on the dynamics of the relationship. Is that your husband? Is that your boyfriend? Is that someone you're just linking? All of that plays a part, because if it's someone that I'm just linking and end up getting pregnant, yeah, he has a right. If he wanted to, I wouldn't be offended. I'd be more than happy to do it. If it's your husband now, you feel a bit different. However, in saying that, do I now believe that maybe it should be mandatory for every man to have a paternity test? Because of women like this, and there are many women like this, I do believe that maybe it should be mandatory, because as women we would always know that that child is coming from us, right? We know definitely that's our child. But how does a man, how do you guarantee that that is that man's child? It's literally just our word.
So it comes down to, do you trust the woman or not? Interestingly enough, this woman says that in the beginning, when she was asked that question, she got upset. Like, oh, you're questioning my loyalty. But then on, she put herself in the shoes of a man and said, you know what, if I was a man, I would want to know. It's so funny that there are so many things that women don't understand about men, and they simply can't understand them because they are not men. But if they stop to think about it, if women stop to think about the struggles and problems that come with being a man, they relate to it. You know, they say, wait a minute, if I was a man, I wouldn't want to be in that situation, for example. So it's very interesting, and this is something you notice with most women we cover on the channel. They have never stopped to think for 1 minute about how men feel or what they want or what their struggles are. They only think about their side of the story, and this is how they become as delusional. But gentlemen, what a harsh story, honestly. Let's move on now to something different.
His newborn child, or he won't sign the birth certificate.
Wait a minute. So
Husband.
This article or something. Wife says her husband is demanding a paternity test for their newborn son, or he won't sign the birth certificate. It is such a slap in the face. So let's listen to this.
Is demanding a paternity test for his newborn child, or he won't sign the birth certificate. The wife and new mom gave some backstory on Reddit, sharing that she and her husband both worked hard on their college degrees and are now established in good careers. Her husband came into the relationship with a lot of debt, so she moved him into her house, which she owned, and helped him slowly pay things off. Eventually, the wife secured a better paying job, but it was a physically demanding job that required travel. And you can probably see where this is going. The woman became pregnant, and when she was 8 months pregnant, her husband demanded a paternity test out of nowhere. He said he trusted her, but because she traveled so much for work, needed the assurance for his peace of mind. Apparently, his family and friends said he couldn't be sure about the pregnancy since his...
Guys, absolutely valid concern. Statistically, the women that cheat most often are female flight attendants, or flight, how do you call them? The women that, you know, walk the aisle and all that, and nurses. Why? Well, because they spend a lot of time outside of home, sleeping in different places. Statistically speaking, they are the ones who cheat the most. Again, why is that? Well, because they have the opportunity, you know, so absolutely valid concern. Again, I understand how a woman that is, for example, very loyal will feel offended by this. But then again, women, they feel insecure when they have to be stay-at-home mothers, because they say, I don't want to get into a marriage where I'm going to have no income, no resources, no money, and I'm going to put my head on the guillotine and just wish for my husband to not divorce me, because then I will be on the street with no money. This is why we have all these laws protecting women from divorce. Yet on the other side, there are no laws protecting men from exactly this, from having to take care of another child that is not his, you know? So women get all concerned when, oh, I have no income. What if he divorces me and I'm left with nothing? Okay, men have literally the same concern. What if I'm raising some kid that is not mine and I'm providing all this? I need to know.
His wife had spent so much time away. This request understandably upset his wife, so he dropped it. But 3 months after their son was born, he brought it up again, and this time he put his foot down, insisting he wouldn't put his name on their son's birth certificate without a paternity test. Too late, bud. That paperwork was filled out at the hospital. When he found out, it infuriated him. Now his family and friends are calling the new mom, pressuring her to let him do the paternity test. She says it's a slap in the face after all she's done for him.
Okay, stop it. It's at this point that I already know she has cheated, and she is worried that it may not be his. When people go out of their way to protect something so much, they clearly have done something wrong, right? If you haven't even cheated, you will say, all right, this offends me. I don't feel good about you distrusting me, but all right, I'll do it. I haven't cheated. I have nothing to hide. When people start this whole charade of, oh, you're questioning my loyalty. Have you ever noticed like pickpockets or thieves, robbers, when they go to a shop and as the officer, the police officer, whoever is there, security guy, asks them, can I check your bag, man or ma'am? And they start with the whole thing of, oh, you think I'm a thief? Excuse me, who are you? You don't get to watch what I have inside my bag? Yeah, they've done it. They've done it. I don't need to know anything more. If you haven't stolen, just say, all right, take a look. I have nothing to hide. When they go doing this whole thing of, oh, you distrust me, yada yada, they just have done it. So this woman, for me, 100% certain she's cheated. Let's find out.
Research shows that without trust, relationships suffer, and this dad is definitely lacking trust. Once trust is lost in a relationship, it's very hard to recover, and this wife has assured her husband many times that their son belongs to him and that she's been faithful. But he's choosing to take the words of his friends and family over his wife, and if he can't trust his wife, the future of their relationship might not be secure. And she shouldn't have to submit herself to a paternity test when she's given her husband no reason to doubt her loyalty.
Exactly.
Oh, so we're not gonna find out? Damn it. Well, I don't know about your opinion, guys. For me, okay, not 100, 99% she's cheated. Again, I get the whole thing of you really distrust me, you should know me better. If she is really a very loyal woman that has never even thought about the idea of cheating, I get why this will be offensive. But again, I don't see why people will go to such lengths to hide something if they were honest. Now, guys, let's move to one more.
Apparently right now there's a huge debate on whether or not paternity tests should be mandatory. A lot of women are against it, to no surprise whatsoever. A lot of them are saying that they would divorce their husband immediately if he asked them for a paternity test. And even some men are saying that it would be labeling their wife as a whore to ask for a paternity test. So I'm going to have to disagree with the women and the men on this that are against mandatory paternity tests, because as a woman, I'm never going to know what it feels like to question if the child is mine or not, with the exception of baby swaps in the hospitals. But how often does that happen? And also, as a woman, why wouldn't I want my child to then be swapped to ensure that that is my child after all, and then give that man peace of mind? This isn't about trust. This is just about peace of mind, because you know what? With the statistics that have come out in the
Guys, I'm going to pause it right here. Now that she mentions the hospital and the baby swapping, that's actually a good analogy. Imagine a woman that goes and has birth in a hospital that is well known for swapping babies multiple times, all right? Because that's the situation with paternity tests. Men hear and men become aware of the fact that there are women out there in the world that do this thing, that cheat and then never speak about it. And this man is raising another man's child. So men hear about this and they are concerned. All right, well, what if I'm going through the same? So going back to the example, if a woman gives birth in a hospital where baby swappings have occurred in the past, don't you think she will want to know if the baby is hers and do a DNA test or something? Can you imagine in that moment, the hospital, instead of providing a DNA test, says, oh, you're questioning our loyalty? You're questioning our standards? You think that this hospital will do something such as that? You just shut your mouth and do the DNA test, alright? Same with women. Alright, you may feel disrespected. Alright, just do the paternity test and that's it. Right? Stop being so defensive about it, because it just makes us realize, it telegraphs to us that yes, you indeed have cheated and now are worried that men are going to find out.
Data that has come out with how many women cheat in marriages and how many women cheat in general. If I was a man, I would want a paternity test for sure. In France, it's caused such a debacle that they have made it illegal. Doesn't that in itself speak volumes? I really don't see the issue with this becoming a mandatory thing for everyone to get, because then...
Wait, what? Have they made illegal paternity tests? Did I hear that right? That in France they have made paternity tests illegal? Cannot believe it. Maybe I got it wrong. I don't even want to check back, because I prefer to be unaware of the fact that maybe it is illegal.
No woman would feel signaled out. It wouldn't be a personal decision. It would be just something that everyone gets. So it would give your husband peace of mind. It would give you peace of mind, because you know that your baby was not swapped at the hospital, and you wouldn't be questioning that trust aspect because everyone's doing it. So I really don't see the issue if this was a government mandate. However, if you guys still have an issue with that, then you know what? Why don't men just get the baby swabbed? I 100% think that every single man should swab their baby. I don't care if you have to do it behind her back. Swab that baby, because the risks are way too high these days. And if she's getting offended, that's a red flag, because personally, I would not care. I would not get offended. I would want the peace of mind for myself that the baby wasn't swapped at the hospital. And if I can give my husband peace of mind at the same time, why would I not do that? I have nothing to hide. If someone doesn't have anything to hide, they wouldn't care. You can
Yeah,
be empathetic
exactly.
towards the male gender due to this issue that's going on with so many women tricking men into being fathers for babies that aren't theirs.
Well, exactly, guys. I absolutely agree. And we're gonna end it here. I think this was quite a telling episode. Editor, can you please switch to the outro scene? Thank you. Well, again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe I got the bit about France wrong. Maybe they made illegal baby swapping or suing because of baby swapping. I don't know. I don't even want to know what was going down there. But gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me and Ampu. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.